A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
The Lord promised better things for us, okay? Because the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, has a favorite people. And he's going to give this favorite people a heavenly kingdom. A kingdom that's blueprinted and formatted and patterned after his mind. How he wanted the kingdom to be.
Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothed the grass which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the who came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All right, so hold on real quick. All right, so what I want to get into this morning, okay, is the only solution is judgment from on high. All right, because what you have now, with these Edomites, these alternative news and, the preppers and all these different people in their mind, they think that within their own power, they can sidestep, okay, the elites, okay, with this new world order takeover. All right, because the elites, beginning with the elite banking families, all right, the super wealthy, all right, these major corporations, well, they have ownership of these governments, all right, and the governments have ownership of the people, okay, and, you have, this alternative news community, in their mind, they think that there's some way within this system that they can avoid the punishment, okay, or this takeover of the elites. Okay. But nah, man. See, what people don't understand that the elites, okay, have an agenda that they're playing out and ultimately they're doing the will of the Lord. Okay, so there's a lot of judgment that's going to go forth when this devil is trying to establish his new world order. Okay, there's a lot of people, all right, that's going to suffer, and it doesn't matter how much you prep. Okay, and it ain't no way around it. All right, the only solution is judgment has to come from on high. All right, there has to be a higher power, okay, that's going to intervene, okay, and judge this devil, okay, for what he's doing. You see, you're not going to be able to come up with a strategy that's going to have you in the clear from what's coming to the earth, because Esau was just one phase of judgment. Okay, the Lord has many phases of judgment that He's going to bring to the earth, and that's why I want to start off here in the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 19. And then for brother could, if he can get that Revelation 3 and 10. All right, this is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 19. It says, "For in those days shall be affliction such as was not from the beginning of creation, which the Most High created unto this time, neither shall be." So this is the worst time ever that's coming upon the earth. Okay, so thinking that you're gonna have a Bitcoin, because I got a video of the chick Whitney Webb and this other guy, Glenn Beck. Okay, which he's a big character in alternative news, but both of them are all right. But they're going into these, solutions for what's to come. No, you can't prepare for the worst time ever since the world was. Okay, you can't carnally prepare unless you're the elect of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. There's no way to prepare for what's to come. Okay, no matter how savvy you are with computers and technology and living off grid, no matter how savvy you are, okay, that's not going to have you in the clear. Okay, when these times come. All right, in verse 20, it says, Mark 13 and 20 says, "And except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom He have chosen, He have shortened the days." Okay, so the Lord has to intervene and shorten the days, man. Shorten this man's time, cut this man off from his wicked agenda, man, because he's not going to be able to execute everything he has planned. All right, this devil has a lot planned, you see, and the Lord is not going to allow this devil to get off everything that he wants to get off, man. Okay, so when you go here, I see the brother got an NLT. Yep, let's get this in the NLT. The brother Kazak Bunyan Howard is Mark 13 and 19 said, "For there will be greater anguish in those days than at any time since the Most High created the world, and it will never be so great again." Okay, so as you see, all right, these Edomites on these alternative news, all right, platforms and arenas, okay, they have a mindset that it's something they can do within this system that's going to have them in the clear, man. All right, which they're going to be highly disappointed. All right, Mark 13 and 20 says, "In fact, unless the Lord shortens that time of calamity, not a single person will survive. But for the sake of His chosen ones, He has shortened those days, man, for the sake of the elect." Okay, see, where the elect is going to have a high power working in their favor in their day, man. And that's going to be the difference maker, man. Okay, the favor from Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay, this the brother Beakless Hebrew Bible Academy classes says Matthew 24 and 8, "All these are the beginning of sorrows." And right now we're in the beginning of sorrow, and see, people don't have an understanding of how bad it's finna be. Okay, so I'm this is only the beginning. It's the very beginning of sorrow. Okay, so I'm gonna cue up this video real quick. All right, and you're gonna hear what she's brothers use her. She's insightful about what's going on, especially when it comes to the Palantir, okay, different AI, Whitney Webb, so she's a big player in the space of alternative news, okay. But we're gonna play this and just show you, all right, that most of the things that they're talking about is pointless, okay.
But ultimately, those type of people that are willing to stand their ground and actually fight for the American people are very few. Even in, it doesn't really matter what party you're talking about. It's very small number when you consider the amount of votes needed to pass certain legislation. Yeah. So I think ultimately the way out of this is for the American people to realize that yes, this is a fight between good and evil, but if you're looking for the good guys, stop looking at people.
Yeah.
And
the answer is so clear. Local. Yes, local.
Absolutely. This is really us versus them. It's not left versus right anymore. Yes. We are so far beyond that.
Yeah.
Really.
And it's amazing and very heartening how many people that I know and I interview that we would have been against each other 15 years ago. We would say, you're, and now it's like, no, forget all of that.
Yeah.
And it's heartening that people are waking and starting to come together. Question is, do we make it fast enough? I've been saying for a while, this is going to be a photo finish. I don't know which one's going to.
I don't think anyone really does. And I think it comes down to how much responsibility people are willing to take for their own lives and how far communities are willing to go to ensure that they're self-reliant in the face of what we're facing.
To you?
Well, if the banks are deplatforming people, you can't use their financial system. Are you going to go to the CBDC land where eventually you won't be able to spend money without like a microchip in your hand and all of this stuff? There's obvious red lines people can't cross. How are you going to feed your family? How are you going to keep your house heated in winter? Basic needs. I think we should probably be taking some lessons from the Amish, to be honest. I think, I think they got a lot of stuff right.
That the Amish, they're going to be fine.
No, they're not. All right. The Amish are not going to be fine. Okay. Because according to the scriptures, you see, because at the end of the day, you don't think the elites, all right, have these things, figured out when it comes to putting pressure on everyone. Now it is going to be, more chaotic, all right, in different areas, especially these inner cities, these big cities, okay. But ultimately, this is a test that's coming from Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. So the Amish, or just because you're able to live off grid, that doesn't put you out of the scope. If anything, because you're off grid, they can just send them drones through there, okay, and just lay everything down, okay, with no backlash. You see, you out there by yourself, you think you go, I got the camper, I got the solar, which is cool, there's nothing wrong with having that setup, and it might be cute for a minute, but there's gonna come a time, like, nah, man, judgment is going to try everyone. That's why you got Revelation 3:10. This from the brother not GMS all in. Revelation 3:10 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? So this is going to try the world. You see? You don't give a damn if you're Amish, Mormon, tiny house, okay, camper, van, it don't matter. Everybody's going to get tried. Okay? Now, like I say, it's going to be more chaotic, and it's going to be, it's going to look different from everyone, but hey, everyone's going to be tried, man. Okay? You can't prep your way out of this. Okay? So, let's let it play some more.
They're going to be fine. We have
outsourced
everything.
Our needs to corporations that want to enslave us. So we have to start producing our own stuff at a local level. It's all about exit and build, and that's what we have to do. And the more people that do that, the better off we will be. The real question is how accustomed are Americans to convenience, and will we be enslaved by that convenience or not? And I think that's the ultimate.
So far, we have been.
A lot of people have been.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about Bitcoin.
So I'm, not necessarily well versed on cryptocurrency. I do. I like Bitcoiners because we tend to have see a lot in common about, the state of government today and the Federal Reserve, for example, central bank digital currency, and all of that. But because I'm not particularly well versed in it, I don't like to tell people how to spend their money. It's a very individual decision.
Do you think it can survive?
I think the central banks, the bankers, and the government will do everything they can to prevent a currency that threatens their power from actually being able to be used. And I think we're already seeing major efforts to make that the case. They can make it illegal to, turn it into something else, illegal to use as tender. They're looking at a lot of different options. But, some Bitcoiners, despite that, think it's totally possible, but I don't think I'm qualified to talk about that. I personally have, in terms of my finances, some people donate to my work in crypto. I have a little bit of that, but, I'm personally looking at trying to put as much of my money as I can in things that will keep me and my family self-sufficient, come what may, which in my case included investing in land. So I'm not renting, I own where I live. I have enough land to produce what my family needs in terms of food, stocking up on things that I can't produce, things like that. That's where my money is personally going, but I am not in the business of telling people, giving financial advice beyond that. Sure. But, if the goal is to develop parallel systems so we're not dependent on the systems of the people trying to enslave us, whatever you think is a good way to get from point A to point B, that's probably where your money should be going. If Bitcoin's a part of that, if you feel that way, good for you. And if not, good for you too. I think ultimately what we need to do is try and create something so that we can be resilient and not have to, because the system is just so unacceptable. It's really not just it's not just against freedom and all sorts of other values, right? It's against nature. It's against life, really. And so, if you're going to support that, I think people have to realize the consequences that come with that and exactly what it means when you are willing to give yourself over that kind of system, the implications of that. And I think a lot of people don't really realize that or take the time to think about it. And I think they should.
Yeah, so you see, they really don't have an answer. She was like, we need to create something. All right. Well, we this late in the game. All right. You Americans, all right, especially here in America, man, in the West, okay, people have, traded in their sufficiency for convenience, okay, to where these devils have more and more control because so many people rely, okay, on the grid, okay, and there's no way to heal this system within this system, man, okay. She was talking about Bitcoin, okay. Bitcoin is not, all right, the answer, okay. Bitcoin is not going to put you in a position because they control Bitcoin. You don't think the elites control, all right, cryptocurrency. Okay, you think they just let a currency emerge out of nowhere. Here it is. They've, assassinated presidents and leaders of different countries that try to create a new money system outside, okay, of the dollar. All right, Omar Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, okay, John F. Kennedy. Okay, so here it is. They're assassinating, okay, presidents and leaders. But you think that nigga, all right, in his antique basement gonna come up with a digital coin, a cryptocurrency, and they're just gonna go unbothered? Okay, no, man, they control that because cryptocurrency is only preparing people for CBDCs. All right, because crypto is not backed by anything. Okay. And CBDC is not going to be backed by anything. Okay, it's just going to be credits that they give you, all right, to function in their society. Okay. So nah, man, you people are way behind. Okay, you're centuries behind. The elites have been planning this a long time. Okay, so the scriptures tell us the mindset that we should be in. Matter of fact, let's get this. Second Ezra, the 16th chapter. Okay, because we know our help comes from on high. All right, damn this world and everything in it. See, people still want to try to save this world. This world is being judged for wickedness, man. Okay, it ain't just these people focus on the economy. Okay, they focus on the banking and the currencies and all that. Well, this place is being judged because it's wicked. All right, and you people are wicked with it. All right, your complaint is just you're getting a bad deal economically. All right, but you're not in the uproar against all the wickedness of this society, man. All right, this is a satanic pagan society. All right, and you people on these alternative, news platforms, they don't want America to be destroyed. They don't want the so-called white man to go into captivity. Okay, they don't want Yahweh Shai to usher in the throne of David. Okay, these are the real solutions. Okay, so let's go here to the mindset we should be in. This is 2nd Ezra 16:4 says, "Oh my people, hear my word." All right, and what is the word of prophecy, man? All right, what's the theme of the ministry is prophecy, man. So as we hear prophecy, all right, as we are on our watch and we look out and we see prophecy happening, and we filtering it through the scriptures, we know where we at. Okay, we know that we on the brink of major prophecy. Okay, being unleashed in the earth, man. Judgment being unleashed in the earth, man. We know we in the time we finna lose things, man. Okay, everything that we've accumulated in this life, man, we got to be ready to lose. Okay, leave this world behind, literally, man. Okay, it says, "Make you ready to thy battle, and then those evils even be as pilgrims upon the earth." Evils is bad time. All right, so it's going to be times to where we're going to be uprooted. We're going to have to leave our possessions, man. Things that we've established, things that we built. Okay, that's why we enjoy these things day for day. Whatever the Lord has given us, but we know, all right, we shouldn't have any attachments to it, and especially looking at these things as some form of exemption from what's to come. Okay, just because you got land, that doesn't mean you're going to be exempt. Okay, from what's to come. All right, because you got livestock and you grow your own food, it's not going to make you exempt. Okay, you might have it a little easier, for a period of time. Okay, than those that don't, but that's not going to be the solution to what these devils are bringing, man. Okay, he says, "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupied the merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he shall not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard is he that shall not gather the grapes," man. Okay, so we're not we're not uh have our mind and increase in this world. We don't have our mind and legacy on this side. Okay. We don't have our mind, all right, and this being the end all be all and trying to protect everything we got. See, they're trying to protect all their assets. They're trying to protect, their possessions and their lifestyle. They're trying to protect those things, man. And it's gonna get snatched from them. Okay. You see? And they don't, she said, we gotta come up with something. Well, nigga, if you don't even have a clear view of what to do, all right, and when this thing comes down way harder than what it's gonna come down, all right, you're not gonna be able to scramble. You see, people think that, like on the movies, and they think it's gonna be a barter system, and people are gonna be trying to survive. Okay, you can't trust nobody now. So you think you're gonna be able to trust people in the barter system when ain't no food? All right, when things are scarce, you think you'll be able to trust people? All right, that people are gonna have integrity and have a functioning barter system? No, it's gonna be, I'm gonna get what I can. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get it. And the scriptures say that, man. for lack of bread, they shall be spoiling one another. Okay? He say nothing about no barter system, man. Okay? It says, he that soweth as if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather grapes. They that marry is they that shall not get children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. Okay? So all this, laboring and prepping, okay, satellite phones and these different things, okay, that's gonna be in vain. Okay, it says, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods. You see that? People just gonna be invading, man. They gonna start coming out, and when the cities are ravaged, because the cities they just gonna get ravaged quick. Okay, and they gonna start branching out into the rural areas, man. Rural areas. Okay. And it says, overthrow their houses and take their children captives, for in captivity and the famine they shall get children, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons. Okay, let's keep going. The more I will be angry with them for their sins, said the Lord. Okay. So the here it is, the earth is being judged for wickedness, but you think you're just going to prep and be good. Okay, you think that if you can have some alternative currency that you're going to be good. It's way bigger than that. You see? And I said they just put emphasis on the financial aspect and the resources. Okay, because these corporations are using convenience as a weapon against the masses. Okay, but the judgment is coming down because this earth is wicked. Okay, America is the source of wickedness in the earth, man, and that's why America is going to be judged harshly, man. So let's go here. Let's get a Yep, bro, got that. Let's get that. Let's see, brother got it. So this is the brother. Yep. So you go, here's your brother Kazakban Yahweh. It said, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. All right, with your destruction. You see? The Lord's anger is in the earth, man. Okay? Just because you know how to build a cabin, it has nothing to do with the Lord's anger, man. Okay? Verse 15. And it said, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand, man. It's going to be very hostile out here, man. Okay, you're going to have class wars. You're going to have wars of ideology. You're going to have, blue states, red states. Okay, Jake and Esau. Okay, they have all different, sects and fractions of society going at it, man. Okay, because people already hate each other, man. And when you remove the consequences, okay, of law enforcement, it's gonna be a very bloody society, man. All right, purge style. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invade one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and course of their actions shall stand in their power, man. It's going to be anarchy out here, man. Okay? Anarchy. Okay? People are going to be taking over territories and mobs and, militias, and these mercenaries are going to be out here, man. It's going to be a lot happening at one time. You cannot prepare for it. Okay? The only thing that's going to make a difference is how about Shemal Shah being on our side, man. Okay, it's the only thing that's going to make a difference. Okay, as this thing gets worse and worse. And it says, a man, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Okay, no checkpoints. All right. Martial law, which Trump is rolling out a soft martial law now. Okay, in preparations for that. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. the houses shall be destroyed, and men, all right, shall be afraid, man. Okay, and that's another thing, the pride of this place, man. Okay, here it is, you people are proud as hell, and you think that you're gonna sidestep, okay, these times to come. All right, just because you got a few goats and lambs, okay, in the backyard, man. Nah, man. All right, the Lord's finna judge this place for pride, man. This has been a very prideful society. Okay, it says a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. So it's gonna be going down, man. All right, ain't gonna be no community. See, people think that it's just gonna be a community of, you know, people coming together and sharing and, loving and off the grid and, the acoustic guitar by the campfire. Okay, cooking, what they hunted for that night, man. Nah, man, it's gonna be grimy out here, man. Okay, this is already a very grimy society, man. People are already wolves. Okay, before it gets bad, man. So what the hell you think gonna happen? All right, when they don't have to worry about, law enforcement when they're the law. Okay, so let's go here. Um, nah, man, because the solution, all right, is judgment from on high. All right, and the Lord is sending Yahweh Shai to do that judgment. Okay, when you go here to Jeremiah, we always get it. Jeremiah 23, probably reading the NLT. Jeremiah 23. Okay, we'll start at 5. This is Jeremiah 23 and 5. It says, "For the time is coming," this is the NLT, says the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shah will now raise up a righteous descendant from King David's line. He will be a king who rules with wisdom. He will do what is just and right throughout the land. That's Yahweh Shah. So Yahweh Shah is coming, all right, to bring judgment to the earth, man. It's going to take someone from another realm to come bring judgment to this place because it's too far gone. It's too far out of pocket. Okay? You little civilians ain't going to come together and do a goddamn thing. Okay? Because you people are more divided than ever. You have less skills than ever before in human history. Okay? So you can't get together and do a goddamn thing, man. Okay? And ultimately, that's not the play that the Lord wants. No, what's going to happen? The Lord is going to allow, okay, things to get extremely chaotic and people to, suffer, man. Because the Lord wants you people to dwell in torment. So He wants a predicament where you people suffer, man. Okay, before He sends Yahweh Shai, man, to just set everything right, to judge. Okay, because Yahweh Shai coming with fire. Okay, Yahweh Shai coming to punish. Okay, because when it says justice, well, part of justice is punishing wickedness, man. So Yahweh Shai is coming to judge wickedness, man. Okay, throughout the land, you see, and that's in the planet Earth. So their righteous king, all right, which is Yahweh Shai. And when you go to Revelation, the book of Revelation gets into the details of what Yahweh Shai is coming to do. Revelation 19. Start at verse 2. Let's get this in the KJV. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 2. It said, "For true and righteous are his judgment, for he have judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth for her fornication, and have avenged the blood of his servants." Okay, the blood of his servants in her hand. And again they said, all right, hallelujah, all her smoke rose up forever and ever. So Yahweh Shai is coming to judge the great whore, which is America. And why is He judging America? Because it corrupted the earth. Okay, America is the source of wickedness. All right, the wicked influence in the earth is coming from America. The elites have turned the American society, okay, into the standard of wickedness in the earth, man. Okay, before wickedness is forwarded anywhere in the earth, it is normalized here first, and then it's forwarded throughout the earth. So Yahweh Shai is coming to deal with the problem, which is the whore, America, man. Okay, which is going to be eradicated. Her smoke rising up is the aftermath of the nukes and the chariots setting this place ablaze and turning it into a desert, man. Okay, and then when you jump down, verse 11, it says, "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war." So in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is coming to make righteous war. That's what this place needs, a righteous war to be waged against it. And you, all right, having, your own garden, that's not waging war. Okay. No, it's going to take a higher power. It's going to, Yahweh Shai coming to wage war and power. He's coming to disintegrate the militaries of the earth, man. Okay, let's go here to Haggai 2:22. You see, you people don't have no power to take down the militaries of the earth. Okay, I say, growing a garden. All right, that's not a threat to this devil, because he can just chemtrail you. All right, or he just send that drone through there, and everything on their property is out of there. Okay, you people don't have no missile defense system. Okay, and if you did, he'll overwhelm them. Okay, and it says Haggai 2:22. It says, "And I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen." Okay, this is what Yahweh Shai is coming to do. Okay, this is the solution. Okay, overthrow. Okay, of the world's governments, man. That's the solution. And I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and their horses and their riders shall come down, man. And this is these fighter jets, all right, and this military hardware, man, military vehicles, man. All these things are going to be destroyed. It says every one by the sword of his brother, because it's going to take place during this third world war when these nations are fighting each other, man. Okay, so the solution is Yahweh Shai coming to judge this place, man. Okay, that's the solution. When you go to Daniel, let's go to Daniel. All right, and when you go into the Bible and you go into these prophecies, everything lead to Yahweh Shai coming to destroy this place, man. Okay, that's the solution to what's going on. Okay, and it says now you go to Daniel 2:35, and it speaks about all these heathen empires. All right, the head of gold, the Syrian Babylonian Empire, the silver arms, the Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, the brass thighs. All right, which is the Greeks. Okay, and then you have the iron legs, which are the Romans. Okay, then you have the 10 toes, which is the revival of the Roman Empire in the form of the NATO, America, and the EU. Okay, well, in the days of those kings, okay, what happened? When you go to Daniel 2:35, it said, "Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken in pieces together." Okay, so Yahweh Shai is coming to break up the governments of the earth, man. He's coming to break this whole system up from the top. Okay, you can't fix this system from the bottom. Okay, by trying to start a community in 2025. Okay, when people hate each other more than ever. All right, and it says, and become like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, the nukes, that no place was found for them, and the stone that smote the image became, and that stone that smote the image was Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that stone that smote the image became a great mountain, okay, a great government. So Yahweh Shai is coming to destroy and establish a righteous government, destroy this old world government and establish a new righteous government. Okay, so it became what, a great mountain, and filled the whole earth, man. The authority of that government is going to fill the whole earth, man. Okay, that's the solution, man. You see, and it's going to get to this point, Isaiah 2. Okay, and that's going to lead to this. You see, Isaiah 2:1 said, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. You see that? Okay, so when the nation, all right, of Israel is established as the top government, beginning with Yahweh Shai, the 144,000, when that government is established in the earth, all right, then that's the solution. See, this is the solution of the scriptures, man. A new global government, okay, under Yahweh Shai, okay? And it says, and many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, all right, to the government. Let's go check into the government of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, man, okay? It says, the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai from Jerusalem. Let's get this word walk. Okay. Because the solution is righteousness, man. Okay. So let's go here. Because these people that talk about, you know, we can do this and we can do that. Well, they still will be like, well, look, you can believe what you can believe. We can all get together as long as we can, sing Kumbaya at the end of the night. Okay, nah, man. All right, there's a standard, there's a righteous standard that needs to be enforced in the earth. All right, all the way across the board. All right. So in the Hebrew, this word is yalak. All right, which is it says to go, to walk, but you go here, says to die, to live, says to the manner of life. Okay, manner of life, figuratively. Okay. So people in the earth are going to walk according to the righteousness of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. After Yahweh Shai comes and conquers the earth and establishes the government of Israel, Mount Zion, okay, is the top authority in the earth that these nations are going to have to check into, man. Check in with and answer to. Okay. Verse 4 says that he shall judge among the nations, shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay, so this is the solution. Okay, this is going to stop all war. Yahweh Shai is coming to wage war, so war won't have to be fought anymore. Okay, the solution is that this last war Yahweh Shai is going to wage on this wicked kingdom, man. Okay, the judgment has to come from on high. All right, so that was the point. Just want to get into that. Lord will. You brothers. All right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutation to the hopeful. Shalom.